Welcome to the World of Charts weekly trading workshop with myself, Chong, and Leon's joining us today as well. I'm excited. I love these little sessions that we do every week that I just get to talk about trading, talk about the markets, talk about how I like to trade and provide a lot of value to you guys. And this week, I'm just going to do the same as every other week, go through the Bitcoin chart first, higher time frame, and then have a look at Ethereum, gold, and where the market is, maybe some potential setups, how I'm thinking about the next week, and then go into specific topics. Like this week, I want to talk about just really like the difference between trading as a hobby and a business. I feel like a lot of beginners they're still treating it more like a hobby, and which is why they lose money. But yeah, we'll get into that a bit later. So, and also if you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the chat, and I will get to them as I go. Cool. And also, if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself, jump on, and ask them as well. All right. So looking at a chart, Bitcoin chart, I've purposely left it as a clean chart with no indicators, no levels, and just show you guys how I like to, I guess, start my analysis by just drawing horizontal levels, just the biggest levels that I can see on the chart, the most obvious levels, and they are my reference points. They help me to tell the story, to understand what the buyers and the sellers are thinking and feeling at these points of significance. So really interesting right now, Bitcoin has made a head and shoulder, and it's actually broken the neckline last week or this week. There's a little nice trend line neckline there. It got broken, and actually was first broken by a bit of rumor / news that was ended up not being that true, and then so it created that messiness there. Eventually broke through, and we had a nice little move. A lot of people expecting the move to teleport all the way down to 25 and a half, and I thought that was very realistic for it to just teleport there because there's no levels between there and in the next one. But seems like wasn't that much selling going into the weekend, and we've actually done a bit of a false break. So broken that level, now closed above the level, which is a sign of some strength. But I don't want to assume that it's, the sell-off is over yet, because we did just break a massive head and shoulder after pretty big overextension here, and then also off these lows. So I don't want to say the head and shoulder move is finished yet. It could very easily go up here, tap the backside of this trend line, and make its way back down. And I think whether it's this scenario or maybe going up like that, I think it really depends on gold. This thing's been following gold for a while, and if you look at the gold to Bitcoin chart, where is it? Yeah, it went up together, staying pretty correlated. Actually, now Bitcoin, I would say, is lower than gold now, which is probably why we didn't sell off as hard as it could have. This is the weekend, so stop printing. But yeah, I would say Bitcoin is lower than gold relative value wise. So I'm looking for what gold is going to do here, because if gold, if you look at a chart of gold, daily chart here, if gold can continue to grind up towards this level, that could look pretty bullish. Just kind of like a similar pattern that is done here, where just the buyers kept stepping in even though it kept false breaking the high. I don't feel like it's going to do that here, but I'm watching for that scenario. If not, then potentially we could be topping here with a nice little trend line here. This week most likely consolidate more, and then maybe towards the end of the week, let's see what it wants to do, whether it wants to roll over and then probably drag Bitcoin down with it even more, or continue to be bought and head back to the high. So I'm watching gold very closely this week for Bitcoin, and also watching what it does around the neckline of this head and shoulder. So yeah, that's Bitcoin. If for the people who are new to I guess this community and these weekly workshops, you can do an overlay of gold and Bitcoin. So orange is Bitcoin, blue is gold. I like to just keep this on one of the tabs just in case gold does something drastic and Bitcoin doesn't follow. There's a nice little correlation trade you can do there, which is what happened around Christmas, New Year's, where gold just kept making high, low, high, low, high, and just kept grinding up. And Bitcoin was just stuck on the lows because of how much fear and negative sentiment there was in the crypto market. So that was a really good long here in Bitcoin off gold. So I'm watching potential setups like that to form again. They don't form often, but when it's there, it's a decent trade. So that's the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. If you got any questions about any market that you would like me to have a look at and do analysis, just chuck it in the chat. Happy to talk about any markets that anyone's looking at. Next one is have a look at Ethereum. Yeah, I had a similar trend line there that broke, and again, I don't want to say this is a false break and it's rejecting the downside. I mean, it's actually starting to look not bad because of bouncing off this level here and going back into the range. It could false break here and start to go back into the backside of this trend line and see what it does there. But I'm 50-50 here, depending on what gold does this week. So no real bias here, but I'm definitely, the scenarios I'm looking for is a rally into the trend line and seeing the price action there, maybe potentially coming back to the low, or tiny little rally here, and then we go back and test the low to see if any sellers are there. If not, then we're going to maybe get a double bottom here or a false break and then come back up again. So they're the two scenarios that I'm looking for. Right now, it's kind of no man's land. If you're not already long from this level, then here it's kind of difficult to punt a direction. What's your opinion on shit coins? Are you talking about meme coins or just other shit coins? It's crazy how a meme coin within 2 weeks can surpass a larger market cap than some of the biggest. That's why this space is super interesting. I think it teaches us a lot about, I would say, I'm not going to call it value. It teaches us a lot about price, a lot about the shift in attention and how quickly that can shift to and from an asset. And obviously we've seen what's happened with meme coins, and it really is just trading the momentum of attention. Wherever the attention is, the narrative, that's where the attention shifts. And then because of so much retail money that's in this space, you don't need anything too sophisticated or too complicated for something to teleport to 100 million market cap. You literally just need a interesting narrative, a bit of um, network effect, and there you go. You see what we see right now. But it's, I think, for us, especially for this community, is very important, especially for me, to help you guys to not get trapped in all of that. And if you want to play that game, play it consciously, intentionally, and know exactly what the edge is in the game. Because I do believe there is edge in all different games that we're playing in this space. Um, I'm never going to say, oh, don't do this, don't do that, ignore that. Um, there's always edge, whether it's NFTs or crypto trading or Bitcoin. If you can find a pattern, a reliable pattern that keeps recurring, then you can make money in it. And as long as you manage your risk, you can basically get in early and get out early. Then you're good. So yeah, just know what you're doing. And if you're trading a meme coin, yeah, it's just know that you're not investing in a quality asset like Bitcoin. You're literally just trying to buy the momentum. Hopefully, people come in and dumb enough to buy after you. And as soon as the attention and the FOMO or the hype um, is at a peak, I would say, like by the time the hype is gone, it's already too late. So you kind of need to predict where it's gone a bit too crazy, and then just get out into the momentum. That's usually the best time to get out, not when people are like rushing for the door or at the same time. Um, yeah, I want to talk about how to find edge in the market, because if you don't have edge, then you're not going to consistently make a profit. And then this leads to the next thing I want to talk about, which is the difference between trading as a hobby and a business. Most people who are just kind of like part time, um, trading for, I guess, to make a bit of money here and there. Um, some people even say trading for a bit of fun, or trading to learn. It's really important to think of trading um, as a business. If you're actually in it to make money, you definitely need to think about trading as a business instead of just as a hobby or something on the side that I do. Even though you do it part time, you still got to treat it with a mindset that this is a serious business. This is something that I'm going to start doing and make money consistently. And that's a business mindset. It's not, oh, it's cool, it's fun, and it's just going to do it here or there. If you take that approach, most likely you're going to not be able to be as competitive as the other players in the market. And you bet there's a lot of competitive players in the market with better software, better transaction costs, better information, more experience, maybe better mentors, more access to information. Like, this is, am I going to call it a zero sum game? Yeah, probably. Crypto is still a zero sum game. It's actually a negative sum game because of transaction cost. Um, so definitely treat it as a business and thinking about, okay, what is my edge? Like, what gives me the right to come into the market every day, every week, every month, every year, to take money out of the market consistently at a high probability, and not just consistently like, oh, maybe I can do it. No, like, you got to be in a position where you sit in front of the screen for, 110 or 80 hours a week, and know that this is a business and you're confident that you can take money out from the market. And not just, we're not talking about a little bit of money here or there. Like, if you're going to spend the time, you want to be taking money out that is going to change your life. And this is what this community is all about. Like, if I can help to turn, one of you guys into a 7-figure trader, that's probably the most meaningful thing that I can do, because that's obviously going to change your life. So how to treat it as a business. So someone's asked the question, do you have any free beginner guides set up for TradingView to start in the server? I mean, in the server. So you just got to share your screen and choose the screen that's on your computer and share that screen. If you're talking about the screen that I'm sharing now, um, so yeah, like difference between a hobby and a business. So a business, for us to build a successful business, you need to know exactly why you deserve to make consistent money every day, week, or month. And that why is the key, right? And for trading, the why is you have edge. And what is your edge? That's the $1 million question. And for me, the start of identifying edge is in the charts. Um, there's many traders that trade differently. Some trade off news, some trade off price action, some trade off just indicators, some trade off literally looking at the DOM trader, no charts. Everyone has their edge, but for me, I'll just stick to sort of what I love and what I'm good at, which is understanding edge and patterns in the chart. So looking for situations, patterns, setups, shapes, um, conditions that when I look at the chart, I see it repeat over and over again. And when you see something that repeat, that's when you can exploit that pattern and know that, okay, if this repeats, then I'm going to wait until something that tells me that's going to repeat again, right? And that repetition is the key to finding those high probability setups. Because when you know that something is going to repeat, then that gives you a higher probability of predicting the future. So, for example, like one pattern that I love is when something's really extended like this and it does a consolidation at the end of an extension like this, then often I see the breakout of this consolidation back into the mean of this huge extension. I see this repeat all the time. So I'm just giving you a very, very random example. So if I see this repeat all the time, then how do I turn this into a strategy, into edge, into a set of rules that I can follow and back test and then forward test and then trade live? So if this is the pattern, then I think, well, where is the point where the highest predictable move, highest probability move within this pattern? And for me, you definitely will want to try to pick a bigger move rather than a tiny move within this pattern. And for me, is the breakout of the pattern is the most profitable. So you identify the range and then you wait for a breakout of the range and you say, okay, if I'm going to trade a breakout, where do I put my stop? Then, many ways to put your stop. You can put it behind the last bar. You can put it behind the last swing low. You can even jump into a 4-hour time frame and choose a swing low on a shorter time frame. So that's one example of identifying a pattern that keeps repeating and then creating a set of rules to then use to backtest the exact same pattern historically. Maybe historically, another one is this one, maybe. Huge extension, and then we've got not as good of a consolidation as the other one, but still pretty good one. You've kind of got a false break here in a bit of not a perfect double bottom, but it did try to go to the low and couldn't get to the low. And then you have the double bottom consolidation here, and then you had a nice up move after that. So yeah, that's kind of like two examples that I just was able to spot on the daily Ethereum chart. And you can find these patterns on 5 minute, 15-minute chart. Um, cool. I'm into NFTs from last July 2022. Now I want to learn trading too. You are very clear to hear and explain very well. So I was asking if you have any written guide in the server to start learn and then join your lives with the correct mindset with solid. I love your mindset, mate. I'm guessing you've done pretty well in trading NFTs because uh, just from listening to the way you approach things. So um, definitely, I would recommend reading the 2 or 3 books that we have in our book channel, and that will give you like the basics and the foundations to work from a trading psychology perspective, which is Trading the Zone by Mark Douglas. And then there's a good technical analysis book in there. I'll put a few more books in there as well for trading chart patterns and trading price action. And then I think once you have your basics there, then you'll be able to understand basically everything that I'm saying. And feel free to ask questions as well. And the books, uh, I you can definitely download free PDF versions on Google. If you want, send me a message and I'll send some PDFs to you if you like. Cool. So yeah, like I'm super passionate about like making sure you guys take the right approach when you start this journey, because I've just heard so many people lose money at the start of your journey, trading journey, unnecessarily. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, you got to lose your money to learn, and then everyone has to go through that. But yeah, you lose a little bit of money, but you don't have to lose 90% of your stack, which is basically your whole business. Because without your capital, you don't have a trading business. So I do believe you can learn by risking only a few dollars at a time. I think you can learn, you can get to a consistently profitable trading strategy just by risking a few dollars. Because it is real money. There is a little bit of emotion involved, so you get to experience that. And until you have something that's back tested and works consistently, forward tested, and then live traded, risking a little bit at a time, and then once you pass all those I would say, milestones, then you're ready to start to size up. Um, and that's kind of the journey that I want to help you guys with. Just slowly, patiently. Like even though it's slowly and patiently, you're still gonna get there faster than if you do it the the wrong way and you try to take shortcuts and you try to risk too much in the beginning. Because if you risk too much in the beginning, then you're gonna get into a bit of a gambling mindset where now you're thinking about how do I get the money back rather than how do I create a consistently profitable trading strategy. And once you start thinking about how to make my money back, then the emotions come up and it's going to take you off course before you're even on course. Um, so yeah, I'm understanding what you're explaining now, breakout, stop loss, but it's not in my routine. And I think I need to practice first after I learn the basics. I definitely going to DM you, man. I'm already happy to have one, mate. Mate, super happy that you've joined the community, and definitely ask in the DM or any of the chats about any questions you have about trading. I can talk about trading all day, all night. I'm thinking about trading all day, all night anyway. So, and helping people with trading and changing lives in this way is one of my biggest passions. I've been trying to figure out how to help people for a long time, and doing it this way is just the most authentic to me because this is what I've done for myself for my life, and I'm still trading and I'm still learning. I'm still making mistakes. I'm still learning from other people. I met Leon recently, and I've learned stuff from Leon as well, even though he's only been trading for a few years. Definitely learned stuff from him. I'm learning stuff from everyone, and yeah, I'm still on the journey. And if we can meet more like-minded people and share everything we know and help each other to make more money, lose less money. And I mean, ultimately, it's really so that we can live a more meaningful life, right? Um, yeah, make money, do the things that we love to do, meet cool people. So and that's what this community is about. Um, yeah, that's exactly right, man. And trading for me is as a huge bonus, which I didn't expect at the start of my career, is that it's really helped me to become a better person, be more disciplined, create more, I would say, stillness and calmness um, in situations where maybe other people may be emotional and start panicking. Whereas I just feel like from losing so much money, um, like taking these type of hits that all traders take, um, these experiences have taught me to just be able to stay calm and think rationally and not let my emotions control my actions. So I think, yeah, I'm super passionate about that side of the game as well, where the mental side, the mindfulness, the meditation, the impact that it plays on all our lives, that's like huge. Potentially even more important than the money. Cool. Um, yeah, I'm going to open it up to questions. If anyone's got a question, like if you have a question in your mind, just know that you're probably not the only one with the question. So other people will be able to benefit from you asking the question. So feel free to ask away. Um, I was thinking the same these past days. If you analyze the situation, you think of it could go when something happens, you already know how it went. So it's like meditation. Sorry, I won't interrupt you anymore. No, it's please share your experiences. This is what this space is all about. Are there any markets that any of you guys are interested in and you want me to have a look at? I'm happy to have a look at any markets that you guys maybe. What is it 1,000? What is this doing right now? 15 minutes. Yeah, interesting. It's a classic. I'm gonna call this a pattern. It's a classic pattern when something that is hyped to this level without any fundamentals, without any, I would call it, real value or a business behind it, for it to drop after it gets listed on futures exchanges where you can start shorting it. And this is exactly what it's happened, right? Yeah, massive sell off. Was it 44 down to 10? So it's lost 75% since being listed on Binance Perps. Yeah, and that was in about a week. Yeah, nice pattern to trade. Like if you know something like this happens, then a potential strategy you could use is whenever a meme coin gets listed on exchange, um, definitely needs to have had a massive rally going into it. So basically, you need to know a lot of the market is long and FOMOing into. It's about going to call it a piece of something, but anyway, then the whole market is long, and now suddenly you have the ability to bet that it's going to go down, which provides the extra supply. So you can basically just say, I'm going to look for short patterns, short setups, and just trade them. Whether it's a breakout, whether it's selling a pullback. Um, yeah, that's one way of approaching this type of pattern of a meme coin getting listed on a futures exchange. And that was a pretty nice breakout there. After that consolidation, bit of a weird head and shoulder, but it still worked. Reverse head and shoulder. Interesting. And now I would say, yeah, I mean, the FOMO is done. Can it consolidate, create a bigger head and shoulder here, reverse head and shoulder, like this one? Potentially. I think if we see price action that is strong here, where breaks the low, goes back up, and then we see some type of higher low, higher low, or even maybe a cup and handle here, then yeah, definitely there's potential for it to go back up. But I just fundamentally, I feel like the whole market is long now. A lot of retail people long. Who else is going to come in and drive this up when all of retail is already long? So I'm generally bearish this thing. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but I'm looking at this consolidation here. Now it's 2 touches, got another low here. Yeah, if it breaks this low, I'm looking for it to come back into this space here. And just know your buyers here, they're not stronghold, they're not strong hands. If you're buying Pepe, you're literally just buying knowing that there's no fundamentals, there's no value. You're just hoping someone else comes in and buy after you. So by definition, that's really weak. There is no buying and believing that, the whole world is shifting to this asset, which is what's happening with Bitcoin. You're just literally relying on dumb people to come in and buy it for no reason at a higher price. So the people who are long, your weak longs, and having a high probability of weak longs, it makes the market really vulnerable to the downside. Hope I don't offend anyone by being so bearish, Pepe. Cool. Any questions for me, guys? This is your chance to ask your question, because we jump on every weekend to provide as much value as possible and help you guys on your trading journey. So if you want to jump on and share where you're at with your trading journey and how I can help you and how we can help you, this is what this community is about. If I can help you lose a little bit less money at the start of your journey, or if you're an experienced trader and you're looking to take your trading to the next level, that's what we're here for as well. So I've been trading for about 12 and a half, probably maybe 13 years now. And the last 5 of that has been in crypto. Started trading Bitcoin in 2017. And Bitcoin changed my life. And now I just want to give back to, not give back to the market. I'm going to keep taking from the market, but I'd like to give back to other people who are also on a trading journey and want to change their life using trading and trading chart patterns, and want to create your own financial freedom by just basically being your own boss. I think it's a really cool way to live. This is what this community is for, and this is what I'm passionate about. I've been mentoring and coaching and funding traders for quite a few years now. So yeah, I love doing this, and this is what the community is for. Ethereum situation. Oh, some of those. USDT. what time frame are you looking at, mate? So get rid of all these levels. Start with a clean chart and maybe even a log. Yeah. So basically, bull market, bear market there. Now we're in a consolidation. It's actually tapped the back of this huge level perfectly, which is why I love horizontal levels. You only see horizontal levels, maybe trend lines on my chart, no indicators. I love just having a clean chart, having a really clear perspective of the price and using the price to understand what the buyers and the sellers are thinking and feeling at each of these significant um, levels. And the way I look at the chart is I see it as a story. It's a story of what the buyers and sellers are thinking and feeling. It's a story, and I would say the key moments in the story are around these key levels. So, what is it doing around these key levels? Who's winning the battles here? Are the buyers winning the battles? Are the sellers winning the battles? Um, and are these moves going really quickly back to the swing high, or is it failing at 50% of the way back up? For example, this one here, just under 50%. Because if a move stops at 50%, compare that to a move that retraces all the way back up. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but that obviously tells you strength. This is not so much. And then obviously a move that doesn't even retrace 50% tells you there's even more weakness. So I use simple price, this relative swings, the lows and the highs, to tell me is the market strong or weak, and also what it does around key levels to tell me about the market. And I create strategies around these levels. So the market is trying to understand where to go. No, I'm that's a good question. I guess I'm trying to understand where the market wants to go. Um, and I guess the market is, on the whole, also trying to figure out where it wants to go as well, because I do feel like the market is a living thing, because what moves the market is living. Like we move the market, the buyers and the sellers, the traders, the funds, the retail people, the big accounts, the small accounts. We're living. We're controlling the buyers and the sells. So I feel like the market is living. So yeah, it is trying to figure out where it wants to go next. And obviously, it's got all these variables that come into it, whether it's news, macro, technicals. And for me and a lot of other day traders, we have a very deep belief that the chart has all the information, especially right now. Um, all the information is implied into the price, and all we need is the chart to be able to make money with. And this theory is proven for many, many years and currently being proven every single day by traders. For example, myself, I do not really look at fundamental news at all. I use a bit of macro as sentiment, as like bigger picture type of bias, but basically all my edge is on the chart, like a double bottom or using these levels, using consolidation, breakouts, head and shoulder. Um, I'll look at, for example, the fact that this stopped at this level exactly. You could literally design a strategy and say, I'm only going to trade these big levels and I'm going to use a super, super, super tight stop and then a massive profit target. So you're going to like basically lose 5, 6 times out of lose 5-6 times in a row, and then when you get the winner, you might get like a 10-20 to 1 risk reward. Like that's just one random strategy that you can come up with. So this is where all my edge is, and yeah, if there's no edge just by looking at the chart, then I wouldn't be able to consistently make money over my career. So, but the fact that I have proves that, and then it's not just me; it's like so many people in trading have proven over and over again that you can take money out from the market consistently just by looking at charts. So, yeah, this is what I focus on, and yeah, I don't use indicators. I think the chart is enough for me to create some or find some patterns that keeps happening over and over again and come up with a strategy that I can back test and then forward test and then trade live with a small amount to prove that it works. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, mate. You were enlightening, like, mate. I appreciate that. I'm just speaking my mind here. I'm just trying to help you guys as much as possible. I've committed this time every week to help the community to uh, make more money and change their lives. And yeah, um, definitely ask whatever questions you have on these calls. I'm not going to hold anything back. The only thing that I'll probably hold back is if I have a strategy that's like super short time frame and any additional size added to it is going to make my edge disappear, then yeah, obviously I'm not going to share to the world that the tiny edge, so that I have to go and find new edge then. So, but everything else, yeah, you know, yeah, happy to share everything. I'm actually starting to look at some. I'm actually starting to look at some new strategies on FX, just using just the price and patterns, and we'll start to share that in Discord really soon as I start to confirm the edge actually exists and come up with some specific rules around that. And Leon, who's a good friend and also the moderator in Discord and also part of the team, he's a big fan of trading FX and using fibs. So you guys will get a chance to hear from him and his strategy as well.
Indeed.
Hey Chong, how many different time frames do you look at on a daily basis versus before you take a trade? The way I think about time frames is it's really hard to trade multiple time frames at the same time because you're going to get conflicting trades in different directions at the same time, and it's very easy to get confused. So the way I use different time frames is that the higher time frames will be used to give me a perspective and market structure. So for example, this higher time frame daily chart, we're in a massive range, but within that we have some higher low, high. Potentially one of these lows could be a higher low and bouncing off this support. So to me, that's gives me the structure using high time frame. But then maybe my setup is on the 4 hour chart. So maybe I have that perspective and I know there's support around here. On the 4 hour chart, I look at, okay, I know there's support around here. Maybe your strategy is to wait for the market to hit support and then do a pin bar, and then you say, okay, I'm going to buy the break of the pin bar, put the stop below here, and I'm going to try to go for, I don't know, a 1-to-1 risk reward, just a random profit target. So you could do something like that, and that's my approach with different time frames. Is you use one time frame specifically for your setup, and then a higher time frames for levels, market structure, looking at the story, and looking for big levels like this. And Marco, like your question also depends on how much time you have. Like, do you have 8 to 12 hours a day to stare at the charts, or do you only have 1 hour a day, or even only 5 minutes a day? That's going to make a huge difference to what strategy you try to develop. And you got to be super realistic about that. If you only got half an hour a day, there's no point of looking at the 5 minute chart, unless you that 1 hour a day you have is in a very active window. Let's say the cash open of the US session, um, where every day there's volatility there, so you can maybe develop a scalping strategy around that period. That's possible. Um, yeah. Thought I joined to see what goes on. Not being able to. I'm glad you could join, mate. If you have any questions on about your strategy and about where you are at in your journey, in your trading journey, feel free to ask in the chat, or even jump on, unmute yourself and jump on, have a chat. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm planning on doing 5 hours per day. Lately, it's been 12. Yep, yep, that could definitely happen. As long as it's not 18, I think you're all right. This is a very fun game. It's very addictive, because you see the potential right in front of your eyes. You see, like, you can literally see the numbers. Like, okay, if you bought X amount here and you got out there, you could make millions, literally. So it's freaking exciting. And it also makes it a little bit dangerous, because now you can click a button and start being a player. You can be part of this action, and give yourself a chance to make money. And that gives a lot of people a false sense of like how easy it is to make money in the markets consistently, because to make money once takes no skill, which gives you the false sense of reality. But to make money over and over and over again for weeks and years, that's a complete different game. And this is what I want to sort of guide you guys on the journey. Is there are like very tested, proper steps that you can take on this journey, and I've been repeating it over and over again, and I'll continue to do so as long as you guys are needing to hear it, which is, you need a consistently profitable trading strategy. Before you even have a trading strategy, forget about risking any capital. Just be super patient, learn a set of rules, or discover, copy, whatever. Find your rules, back test it, make sure that it's worked historically, and then forward test it, paper trade it, and then trade it with a little bit of capital. There's absolutely no point of risking thousands of dollars, even hundreds of dollars, before you can create consistency with a few dollars. So, yeah, man, like, Marco, you've been doing 5 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Where are you at on your journey, mate? If you want to share, are you backtesting at the moment? Are you already consistently profitable? Are you on your way to sizing up? Do you trade crypto mainly? Yeah, if you want to share a little bit, that would be amazing, because it's going to give a lot of the other people on this call some insight as well. Oh, nice. Yep. I love the FX market. I think there's so much money in there, so much liquidity. If you can find a strategy that works in there, man, you can make millions, 8 figures, no problems. Just building my way up in capital. So it sounds like looking to get my 300K fund in the next week. Nice. So you already seems like consistent, and you've got a strategy that's allowing you to, I guess, execute these trades consistently. So that's amazing, mate. Let me know how I can support you. Um, if you want to share your strategy, and I'm happy to sort of pick holes in it, and offer my 2 cents on where I think you can improve the strategy. Um, yeah, it's amazing to have you here, mate. Um, yeah, 300K account. That's a really good place to be. You'd be able to live off that no problems and create your freedom, and that's amazing, man. I love to see that, and I'm a big fan of using the money that we make in the markets, to support obviously our families, give back to our parents, and then eventually to do something positive in the world and help other people, and um, use it to live a more meaningful life. So yeah, I'm happy that you're on your way to getting their funded account. Um, I've already got a 10K which I'm using to leverage up into getting bigger accounts. Yeah, solid. Marco, where are you at on your journey, mate? Um, how are you spending your 12 hours a day in front of the screens? Are you back testing, live trading? Are you already consistent? Uh, Struggle working 8 hours, etc., while trying to trade, but I'm getting there. That's extremely difficult to manage, man. Like, I'm guessing after work, you'd probably be tired as well. And now you got to try to be disciplined, follow your rules, probably feed yourself. Um, yeah, not easy, man. I appreciate the hustle. Uh, yeah, but it sounds like you got something that's working for you, so that's amazing. Oh man, I'm up at 5 a.m. to 8 doing it. I thought you said I'm up until 5 a.m. Damn. Yeah, that's really cool, man. You got to. There's no other way of doing hard work, and there's always a price to pay. And I'm not sure how old you are, but I feel like you seem you got a lot of years in front of you. So yeah, man, just go for it. Especially if you got something that's working. Size up gradually, so you're not adding too much emotion to your execution. And yeah, man, happy to help where I can. And if you want to chat about your strategy, happy to do that on these calls as well. Marco, I've been holding crypto for 4 years, only now looking into trading. I've spent the last 6 weeks researching strategies and looking at a shit ton of trading view charts. Not consistent yet. 100K portfolio down about 2%. Love it. Yep. I highly recommend to reduce your risk right now to, let's say, maybe only risk $50, $10 even, before you find something consistent. And it sounds like you've made a bit of a stack for yourself by investing long term, which is, by the way, like, hands down, like, probably the best way to make money. So I would definitely keep doing that. And now is probably not a bad time to be holding some for the next 4 years, I would say. And yeah, and have your trading stack, which like looks like you have, and just do what you're doing, man. Like, jump on these calls and um, ask me questions about your strategy, what you're working on. Um, Even like you can jump on the call, share your screen, tell me about your potential entries, stop losses, profit targets. Happy to give you my thoughts around that. And yeah, definitely, Marco. Like, there's no need to like have a 10% drawdown of that account until, like, before you find your consistently profitable strategy. You can definitely get to that point by only risking 1 or 2% of your account. But maybe you have maybe another few million behind you. So if that's the case, maybe then it's kind of irrelevant. So that's fine. Cool. It's been a good chat. No, it was all very hard earned money. Yep, exactly. Done that and reduced my trading size big time. Yep. When I read that, definitely, man, size back down. Let's not risk money that it was hard earned, especially if you had to earn that with your time and earning an hourly rate or something like that. Definitely don't waste that money that way. Yeah, that's what these calls are for, mate. Happy to share strategies, back testing. Oh, Bitcoin just broke out. Interesting. Oh, nice little breakout through the highs there. Yeah, so that the bullish scenario that I was talking about before is happening now, and basically we want to see what it does around the backside of this trend line. My gut is that the trend line, I don't know, it's probably going to be around here. Want to test this big level that comes down and see what it does there. I'm not sold on the long yet. I mean, not the long from here, but I'm not sold on the full reversal back to the high yet. I definitely want to see some price action around this trend line and this big horizontal level. I think if it gets close to this level, I think we're looking pretty good for the long. So, and this is how I use these like swing highs and lows to tell if the market's strong or weak, because if it's only pulling back to here and starting to roll over, spend more time down here, then obviously it's weak. But if it's shooting up aggressively fast all the way to this swing high, that's telling me there's strength in the market, and potentially, coming back to these lows is much lower probability. I mean, all these things are very straightforward, but this is what I use to understand the market. Cool, guys. It's been a good chat. Does anyone have any other questions before we jump off? So, like, these calls is one of the best ways that I know how to provide value to you guys, is to get really detailed and specific around trading strategies, trading psychology, patterns, Q&A, answering whatever questions you guys have. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm spending my time trying to make it the most impactful as possible for you guys. And so, yeah, don't hold back. Join these calls. Ask me anything you like. Really passionate about trading psychology, meditation, mindfulness. That's something that I would love to talk about as well, a bit more in the future. And cool. I see a lot of new faces, or more names. That's really cool. So yeah, let me know how I can support you guys more. Send me a DM or send Leon a DM, or just put it into the group chat. Cool. If there's no more questions, we'll call it a day or night. Thanks, everyone.